Hello again, everybody. This is Dan Clouser, and welcome back to the Journey of My Mother's Son podcast. Today we are in the RV in Sam Houston Jones State Park doing another Y2V project, and I'm sitting here with 14-year-old Barrett Holifield. Barrett, thanks for joining me today.
Yeah, no problem, Mr. Dan.
No problem, man. I enjoy being able to sit down and talk to you. You're the on any of the projects that we've been to, you and your brother are definitely the youngest volunteers that have been involved. So I think that's really cool that your parents have you guys out here helping out, and you know, they're not taking any slack on you. I mean, you're out there, you're moving 6x6s, you're drilling screws, you're digging holes with a post hole digger. So first of all, tell me, you know, you seem to be enjoying yourself when you're out here in the project. Tell me why you like being out here and volunteering. I mean, this is not easy work, so, you know, tell me why you enjoy it.
So prior to projects, I have been, volunteering. I have a lot of volunteering experience. Like, I volunteer at the dog shelter every weekend. I volunteer at my local library. I love to volunteer, and it puts a smile on my face, knowing that it puts a smile on somebody else's face.
That's cool.
So, seeing the person standing from the puppy pen as they hold the puppy, that knowing that they're going to adopt that puppy, that's the best place that you can be in the entire world.
Yeah.
That is amazing. And doing what we're doing here, the grunt work, the labor, it all adds up to this one beautiful picture, and one day realizing and knowing that somebody will see this beautiful picture that I helped paint, that's all the reason that I need to be here.
That is very cool. And for you to have that understanding at such a young age, I think is very special for sure. So you and your parents are just like us, full-time RVers. You live in a house on wheels. You've been doing it now for 3 years. So you were 11 years old when you guys first embarked on this journey.
Yeah.
Tell me, you know, when your parents first told you that you guys were going to be doing this, what was your reaction like?
My initial reaction was, oh my gosh, this is amazing. So before, we had wanted to go onto a catamaran, and I thought that was the coolest idea ever. We were going to travel the world on a sailboat. And then my mom, after my brother busting his head open and me getting stung by a jellyfish and her having a 3-day migraine, said, absolutely, this is not going to work.
So the boat was out.
So the boat was out. And so
took a jellyfish, a migraine, and a head injury. The boat was gone.
Yeah.
Okay.
After coming back from a trip to Missouri, my mom said, hey, I like this road thing. I could totally do this. So we come back, we spend a month, because my dad is month on, month off schedule. He works on a towboat. He goes back for his month. He comes back and he's like, all right, we're going to go to the Tampa RV show. We're all like, awesome, let's go look at campers. Well, we buy a 45-foot monster of a camper. What the heck? And my dad found a truck on his way home from work. Didn't even ask Mom. Stopped at the dealership, said, hey, yeah, I'll take that truck. That looks awesome.
So that was a fifth wheel?
It was a fifth wheel, yes, sir.
Okay.
45-foot Fusion 424.
Okay. And how long were you in that? So I know, sorry to my listeners, Yuke is barking a little bit here in the background. It happens on these podcasts. It's not anything new. So you guys are not in that rig anymore. You're now in a motorhome.
No.
So when did you make the conversion from fifth wheel to motorhome?
About a month ago.
Oh, so you're just in that.
It's very new. Okay. Yeah. So my grandmother's friend got hospitalized. And this is a 21-year-old rig. He's taken very good care of it. He gave us a discount on it. He's like, here, I just want to get rid of it. You know, I can't stay in this. We're like, yeah, sure, we'll take it. Sad circumstances, awesome discount. So, I liked the fifth wheel toy hauler. It was a toy hauler, and I liked that because I had a desk with a whiteboard and a computer. I had a bigger bed. Dude, sounds like a bear.
There's a dog walking past the RV, so Yuke is going crazy right now, but we'll get him under control here.
Hey, buddy, it's okay. It's okay, buddy.
The beauty of having a four-legged co-host. He wants to get his 2 cents in for sure. So
I like camping too.
Yeah. All right. Let's see if he stays quiet here. So, so you've been in the motorhome for about a month now.
I say a month and a half. Yeah.
Okay. All right. And you were just starting to talk about, you liked the fifth wheel because you had kind of a little.
I like the fifth wheel because I had me and my brother, my 6-year-old brother. We have 7 actually now. We have an 8-year gap. We had our own bedroom and our own half bath, so there was more space for us. We had our things. In the Class A, we have a sidewall to ourselves, and that's it. All of his toys is stored under the sofa. Our schoolwork is under the dinette, and we all share one bathroom. There is not as much space as before. It is shorter. It is a shorter rig. I like the fifth wheel better because in the truck, I like the Class A better because in the truck there wasn't a lot of room to do school. I couldn't really handle things. We had to stop to go to the bathroom. In the Class A, you can go to the bathroom, you can fix lunch, you can do anything. So that is an upside.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
everything's got its ups and downs, right?
Exactly. And so we're just trying this out, and hey, if we don't like it, there's always more fifth wheels.
Right. No doubt about it. So, was there anything that was tough for you going from living in a regular home, going to a regular school, to, traveling around the country, being homeschooled, or I guess it's called road schooled for for what you guys are doing? What was that adjustment like for you as a young boy?
The biggest thing that I had a problem with was social interaction. Like, sitting here doing this podcast with you, it's amazing. I'm talking to somebody, yay! When we're out in the middle of nowhere, Arizona, boondocking, there's not a lot of other people to talk to.
Right. Especially not a lot of other 14-year-olds.
Exactly. There is not a lot of other teenagers. So, the biggest thing is, like I said, social interaction, and, being in a school with kids, you're around people 24/7, And my mom was a teacher, so I stayed after hours, helping, and, just stuff like that. Going from that to 3-hour school days, which is amazing, not gonna lie, I love that. It's a big change. I do keep in touch with some of my friends from back home. I'm originally from South Mississippi, South Louisiana area. And, I do have some friends that are from the road. Every campground you go to, there's not going to be a teenager my age that is willing to come out of their camper and hang out,
Right.
I'm a very social person. I love to talk to people. I can make friends with almost anybody. There's just no people to make friends with.
Right. So that was a little bit of an adjustment for you.
Yeah.
So now how often do you guys get back to your old home, South Mississippi?
So we actually stay on my dad's parents, I call them my mama and my papa's property. We just poured 2 big slabs, one for our camper, one for their camper. And we will go out in about April, May, and we'll come back around November, December.
Okay.
So we have a 6-month, usually 6 to 5, sometimes even 7-month timetable to go up. So like last year, we went all the way up to Maine and came back down, all the way up the East Coast. The year before that, we went out west, we went all the way up to Montana and came back down. This year, we're going all the way up to Michigan and then coming back down.
Yeah, that's awesome. You guys have full hookups on those pads there?
Yeah, so we have sewer, 50 amp, and water.
Nice, that's pretty sweet. That's the same way when we get down to Florida, we changed our domicile address to Florida. We're originally from Pennsylvania, as you know. And my aunt actually has full hookups. So when we're at a place for an extended period of time, we're usually at my aunt's house in Melbourne, Florida. And we got full hookups there, which is nice. So that's pretty cool that you have, 2 slabs there. which is pretty awesome. So I know this is a tough question to answer, because when people ask Sandy and I, where are our favorite places that we've been, like we can never say the favorites. We got to kind of narrow it down, like, okay, these are kind of the top 5. So what are some of the favorite places that you've been?
Okay,
since you guys
definitely 3 places. Acadia National Park, Maine, or just Maine in general. Maine was amazing. Glacial National Park in Montana, and the Grand Tetons in Wyoming.
I love the Grand Tetons.
Grand Tetons were amazing.
Yeah, we haven't been to the other 2 yet. We were hoping to get to Glacier last year, and then our schedule changed, and we kind of cut that out. Yeah. We were in Maine, but didn't get up to Arcadia. We were down in Old Orchard Beach.
Acadia actually doesn't have an R.
You're right. You are right. But we do want to get up there as well. But that's pretty cool. I mean, what are some of the advantages that you see by this lifestyle?
Advantages. I get to see amazing things that no normal kid ever gets to see. For example, I love Corvettes. They're my favorite cars ever. In Kentucky, there is a National Corvette Museum. I'm going to tell you, that was my heaven. That was my heaven. I loved it. And then I like hiking. I enjoy hiking.
Yeah, I love hiking.
And so seeing all these things, my mom is a hikeaholic. She loves to hike. So we hike everywhere we go. And it's really cool to see all these amazing things that teenagers my age don't want to get out of their bedrooms because they're playing video games and whatnot.
Yeah. Yeah, that's cool. Now, this is not your first year to volunteer project.
No.
How many have you helped on now?
So this is actually only our second one.
Okay.
The first one was Buck's Pocket, which is in Alabama. If you ever go to check that out, it's a pretty cool state park. It's small. Well, the campground that we stayed in was small, but they have trails and whatnot.
Right.
I had a interesting experience on one of those trails.
What was that?
We were walking down, clearing it out, and I got poison ivy on my leg.
Oh.
I am terribly allergic to poison ivy.
Oh.
I had to get a steroid shot and everything. I mean, it was terrible.
Jeez, that's we're gonna keep you away from the poison ivy here. I haven't seen any yet. But what I understand, somebody got into some today. I'm not sure where, so we got to keep you away from that spot. So how old were you then during the first project?
I think I was 12 or 13. I'm not sure. Don't quote me. Okay. 12 or 13.
We won't hold you to it. So.
All right.
And what did you like? What were some of the things you did there?
So they had a front office, and they gave me a nail gun and some nails and a air compressor, and I nailed almost the entire 4 walls of the office.
Nice.
We had some guys helping me. What do you call it when it's...
Tongue and groove?
No, it's staggered.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So we had it staggered and whatnot, and I was bam, 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 bam. It was really cool.
Nice.
I enjoyed that, and if you ever go into Buck's Pocket, the first thing that you see when you drive through the entrance is this really cool emblem engraved into the... It's not engraved, but it's in the ground with rocks and mulch and whatnot, and it's a big picture of a deer with the river that splits, on the side.
Okay.
And as they were putting the deer in, my mother goes, "Hey, let's add something to the side because there's just a little bit of this over that needs to be filled." And she says, "Let's put a river." I said, "Hey, make it cooler. Let's put a split." So the split was actually my idea.
That's cool.
And that was just the coolest thing for me.
So you could kind of put your little stamp on it.
Uh-huh. I placed my flag there.
That's cool. That's cool. What's been... we've done a lot of different things here, and I know you've helped on a bunch of different of the projects here.
I've helped on almost every single one, everything but the trails.
Yeah, so which one has kind of been your favorite to help put together here?
I enjoyed building the tent pads with you, obviously, and my father and a couple other people. But I also really liked helping put the baseboard on in the office, and I painted the inside of the office, or helped paint the inside of the office.
Nice. You actually like painting.
I do like painting.
Yeah, I can't say that I do.
I also really enjoyed helping with the fence. The front fence, it looks awesome.
It does look awesome.
I saw that project from finish to end. I helped put the post in with you. I remember that. You know, we were tag teaming there, and then I helped screw in the boards. I put in the last screw. I don't know if you know that. I put in the last screw. I did,
because I know we were saying, hey, bring Char over here and put in the last screw, and you're like, no, I'm doing the last screw.
Yeah, I said that. I was like, no, that was mine. So I put the last screw in, and then I did the last stroke of paint as well. did the last stroke of stain. I stained it.
Nice.
So I saw that fence from start to finish.
That's very cool.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. That's an accomplishment for me.
Yeah. So where are you guys headed after this?
We are going to a little campground called Cajun Palms. It's about an hour away. We're going to meet up with my grandparents.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. And
how far out are you guys normally planning?
So my mom is a huge planner. She will plan up to a year,
really,
to a year and a half ahead.
Wow.
I mean, just way out there. She's already booked campgrounds in Michigan.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's impressive.
But big thing with that is, she has to book monthly sites because my dad is gone.
Right.
28, which means he's 28 days on work, 28 days off. His company don't fly him from anywhere, and so we can stay anywhere for a month. Getting those monthly sites, not every campground has that kind of availability.
Right.
So she does have to book in advance.
Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, we're actually, we know where we'll be up until May, which is very rare for us. Normally, we're 2-3 weeks out.
See, my mom could never do that. Never.
Well, and you guys are in a little different situation because of the way your dad's work schedule is.
Right.
So that is pretty cool that you guys get to be in the same spot for, oh, wait, no. It doesn't look like Barrett agrees with that statement.
So staying in a place for a month gets boring. It is extremely boring. I'm not harping on any of the little towns that we've stayed in. Just putting it out there. Miles City, Montana. It's cute. It's quaint. It's a little town. There's not a lot of things to do there. The KOA was about as small as could be. There was a little bakery that we loved to go to. It was awesome. They had some concerts in the street sometimes. But a month, whether you believe it or not, is a long place to stay for a full-timer.
Right.
Right? Like, we're usually at one week per place. So months are long, and we're not doing anything. We're trying to conserve gas, and we're not hiking a bunch. Without Dad being there, it's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
Yeah. So you're about 2 years away from getting your driver's license? Are Mom and Dad going to let you drive the Class A when you get your license? Have you had that conversation yet?
Mom says no. Dad says I could learn, but only in emergencies. So actually, in Louisiana, you get your learners at 15.
Okay.
Yeah, so I can get my learners this year, because I'm 14. My birthday is October 24th.
Okay. So
I can get my learners this year.
Okay. Nice.
I'm very terrified. I think I have an anxiety problem. This could be just me. But I'm terrified of driving. Yeah. And being responsible for somebody else in the passenger seat.
You're terrified of driving, but you're out there using power tools and nail guns and air compressors, and
that doesn't scare me. I've driven. My dad works the Bobcat,
right?
The skid steer.
Yep.
I've driven one of those. I'm perfectly fine with that. That isn't capable of going 100 miles per hour.
True.
A car is.
True. Yeah.
I mean, in that Jeep, it is big, and that's what I'm gonna have to learn to drive in. But my dad did let me drive the dually in the back roads a few times.
Oh, nice.
That was difficult.
Yeah,
it's difficult than
dually would be tougher than the Jeep.
It's difficult than a lot of other cars because it's big. The steering is different. But hey, at least my dad didn't get a stick shift Jeep, because that's what he really wanted, and I did not want to learn standard.
Yeah, I had to learn on a 1972 Ford pickup truck that was 3 on the tree, so it was the column shifter, which was quite interesting back in my day. So, so what are some of the other, highlights of a 14-year-old kid living full-time in an RV? I mean, let me ask you this first. How big was your house before you guys moved in?
So we had a 3,500 square.
Okay. It's about the same as us.
35. I don't know. It was a pretty big house. It had 1, 2, 3, 4 rooms, 3.5 baths. We had 11 acres of land, a big pond. We were in a secluded, kind of backwoods neighborhood. A mile. The houses were like half a mile apart, so
Okay.
you know, like, you had to have plots of land. And so I had a friend a mile over. Well, not exactly a mile, but mailbox to mailbox, it was almost a mile.
Right.
And I drive my 4-wheeler over there. We'd hang out. But going from all of that, it was a farm, so we had 60 chickens at one point, 2 goats, a horse, no cows, pigs that we had little potbelly pigs, and a hawk swooped down, clutched it, and just flew off with one of our potbelly pigs.
Wow.
We never saw it again. That was crazy.
Those hawks ate pretty good for the next couple days.
Yeah. Yeah, so we had all those animals, and then we have my dog we still have, Sonic. Love him to death. Wouldn't go anywhere without him.
Yeah.
Going from that huge house with all that space to 50 square foot. That's a big change, especially for my age.
Yeah.
What do I?
You got your mom and dad, your brother, your dog, in that tiny space. So a little bit of an adjustment, huh?
It was more than a little bit. You have to learn. You have to adapt. RV lifestyle is something completely different than most. Like when you're in the shower, you have to rinse, turn the water off.
Yep.
So turn the water back on. You know, it's different than taking a 5-minute shower in a house.
Right.
You know, washing your hands, you don't turn it on full blast.
Yep, little things you learn.
Yeah.
Now, when you're in a campground, do you use the campground showers or you still use the RV?
It depends,
Yeah,
because
same
some
with
campground
us.
showers are.
Yeah.
Don't really want to go in those.
So some campground showers you feel a little dirtier after the shower.
Yeah. And then some of them, I don't know if you've actually heard of this, but it's like a quarter for 5 minutes.
We've seen a couple of those.
So
there was a campground in New Hampshire that we went into that you had to pay 25 cents for the shower.
So I didn't, there's no point in paying to shower when we already pay for a site and have full hookups. You might as well just shower in the camper. I do like showering in other places because the shower is small. It's big for a camper, but it's still small.
Right. Now, with this Year to Volunteer project here, how many people did you know
Prior
that were
So-
and obviously Phil and Char? But
Right, we've hung out with them a lot of times before.
Right.
We did know Mr. Brad and Miss Anita. They were at Buck's Pocket, and Mr. Shannon and Miss Judy. They were also at Buck's Pocket. Did we know anyone else? I don't think so. I think that was it.
Were Jeff and Susan in
Yes,
Buck's Pocket?
yes,
Okay.
them too,
Okay, cool. So now you met all these other new people here,
including you.
including me. And again, you said you're a pretty social kid. I know the first day we were here, you were out there and giving me a lesson on what a crawfish hole was and everything, our first day. So yeah, I can see that it doesn't take you long to kind of, fit in and open up with the group. I mean, being around, all these other adults. Again, I mean, there's nobody else here that's your age. I mean, your brother's got a playmate here.
Yeah,
he's
so
got
my
his
brother has a
buddy.
little 7-year-old buddy. We've actually been traveling with them for quite a while.
Yeah.
But my mom says that I was born an old man.
Yeah.
I mean, I have gray hair. I talk to people, a lot. I love to talk.
So you got an old soul.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what my mom always says. She's like, I'll make friends with anybody, I don't care. So yeah, I don't really care about the age difference or like who I'm talking to.
Right.
Doesn't really matter to me.
So it's all an opportunity to learn new stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's very cool. Very cool. We're just about out of time, but anything else you want to talk about before we get to my final question?
No, I think we cover all the bases.
Cool. So, as you know, I give all my guests a heads up of the final question, because it's the same final question to everybody.
Yes, sir.
The subtitle of the podcast is Many Little People in Many Little Places, which comes from the opening lyrics of a Michael Franti song, which go, when many little people in many little places do many little things and the whole world changes. So what's one of the little things that Barrett does on a daily basis to make the world a little bit better place?
So, I call it a smile and a wave. It's very little, it's very simple. Anybody that I see, I don't care who they are, as long as they're not from America's Most Wanted, just smile and wave.
Yeah.
I don't care.
That's cool.
And it's amazing what these two little things can do. It can make a whole day, and I'm not trying to sound like big-headed or anything, but it can make a whole person's day brighter just by smiling and wave.
I love that. I'll talk more about this when I do the podcast with your mom and dad, but you guys do have a blog and all that sort of stuff. Give the family a little plug here. How can people catch Garrett on social media and all that fun stuff?
Barrett.
Geez.
Yeah.
I got a grandson named Garrett.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
No, it's cool.
But
we are Hitch to Hitch, HITCHTO, HITCH. Come check us out. You'll see me, you'll see Sonic, you'll see my mom and my dad and my little brother. It's all about our travels and where we've been, what we do. And
what's the website address?
We don't have a website per se.
Okay.
It's on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram.
Okay.
And I think Dad started a TikTok. I'm not sure.
Gotcha. Okay.
But it's Hitch to Hitch. Just once again, HITCHTO HITCH.
Cool. All right. Well, hey, I appreciate you taking the time to talk to me. I think it's amazing to be able to get a perspective of. I mean, I know there's a lot of families out there that are full timing.
Right.
Most of the people that Sandy and I meet are just, couples traveling around, and, it's cool to be able to finally connect with an actual family that's doing this. I commend your mom and dad for getting you guys out here and volunteering. I think that's going to be a huge asset to you as you get older. And I definitely agree with your mom. You are an old soul, and you're wise beyond your years. And I look forward to hanging out with you on some other Here to Volunteer projects down the road. So
thank you. It's a pleasure being on here.
Appreciate it. And for those out there listening, be sure to check out my blogs and other podcasts at danclouser.com. Barrett, again, thank you very much for taking the time.
Yes, sir. No problem.